Okay. We've talked about how you've integrated this and introduced it to your salon, and it made all the sense in the world. Do you have any other advice for anyone else that has a salon right now that might be thinking about permanent jewelry, adding permanent jewelry to their service lineup? What advice would you give them?
I say absolutely do it. As an entrepreneur of a salon, having an associate join or somebody who's brand new to your company, they're not going to be as booked. So it also is a filler of when you are paying somebody hourly in the beginning. We have a very set structure. So mine is like on the second Friday of joining the onboarding process of the company, you're going to start that next week of permanent jewelry. Then we put out model calls for permanent jewelry where we do $20 chains, which is still profitable on our end. And that brings in revenue for the coverage of their employment. Second, it gives the ability for them to sell their services to the permanent jewelry client. Mm-hmm. So it's a win across the board. But the main thing is when you first onboard somebody and they're not busy, they will be busy with permanent jewelry because the name sells itself.
Yeah. Yeah. And the way you onboard them too, with the $20 chains for model calls, like it just is practice too, right? Like they're getting the opportunity to practice while everyone's winning. They're getting paid. You're still pulling a profit. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think and no matter what industry you're in, but if it is beauty, for sure, you're always wanting to add things to your service lineup that, like you said earlier in this call, is going to better serve your existing clientele, right? And they're coming to see you probably every 6 weeks. They're loyal to you. They know who you are. They probably know who your husband, your children, and everything about your family. So when you open and drop a new service, they're going to want to support you. Which just aids in that thought of like, you already have the existing clientele, hand them the thing, right?
Yes. And when we are always trying to do where we're finding like the new chains, like if like it's breast cancer awareness mm-hmm. month. I know my clients so well now that I know that their mom, daughter, sister have been affected by it. It's an easy upsell with a caring heart behind it. Or better yet, when somebody is a new mom, let's go ahead and get you a charm with like a cute bracelet with a charm on it with your son's birthstone. How adorable. So it's all genuine. Another thing too, where we sell so much of it, spring break time. Girl, you need some bling on those ankles.
Uh-huh. Yes. Everyone's wearing the jewelry in the summer.
Yes, it's amazing.
Okay, so recapping, we've talked about the Chamber of Commerce. We talked about how you introduced it, how you feel about permanent jewelry in a salon and why it's so worth it. You also mentioned to me earlier that you are kind of in the wedding industry as well and bridal. So tell us, how did you get into that industry and what's your take on it?
So how I got into the bridal industry was when I was first starting out. The easiest clients that you can get are brides. They're secured for a year out, that you have a paycheck in literally a year from today. So then building my team with adding the makeup service, then the hair service, we then had this bride have a wonderful idea. I don't want to give my bridesmaids bags or pajamas. I want to give them permanent jewelry. I want to lock in my love with my bridesmaids and people that I care so much about. And so that got us into a huge market of locking in your love with hair, makeup, and permanent jewelry all in one day.
I love it. And that's such a great way to brand it too. And I think, I say this, and even when I was getting married, I remember like, I don't want to buy my guests these gifts that they're going to set in their car and probably is going to make it to their trash can before it even gets inside. Like I want them to have something that's functionable that they'll look at and actually remember. And I think permanent jewelry definitely encompasses that, especially even if it's just for your bridesmaids and not for your entire wedding guest list. But yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't have to be that you pay for everything, even paying for a charm. That still takes off some of their bill, and it's still a wonderful gift. Like it doesn't have to be.
If you're a bride and you're listening to this and you're about to get married and you're wondering what you're going to do for gifts, hear me now when I say that hair claw clip and those ponytails you bought and the slippers and all the other things, including the packaging, probably comes out to be around $85 to $100 a person when you really sit down and do the math. Now, I know you think that whatever you're putting inside that packaging is it. Maybe you see something later on, you buy it too. Why would you not just do the bracelet? Then you don't have to worry about hustling and bringing the gifts with you the day of. They have something they're actually going to use, right? Okay. I'll get off that kick. So we love the wedding industry. I know permanent jewelry artists always are asking, like, how can I get in? What do I need to do? And I think the way that you've explained it is gold. So, all right, just a couple more questions and we can kind of wrap this interview up. So I want to know, because I want to talk about me. Duh. I want to know how your training was with me, because you are one of my original students and you have just excelled ever since. So for those listening who are on the fence and thinking about getting a training, or maybe they want to be self-taught or they don't know which training to choose, can you give them an honest review of what your experience was with me and how you feel like it did help you actually accelerate and jumpstart your business?
I think that with all the videos being broken down into phases, it was easy for me and my original employee, us two tackled it together. And it was such a great bonding experience for my new employee that came on. So we were able to take our notes, write down, practice on each other, and we could relate obviously to the girl in the industry. Girl power, we also loved that. I said before with the onboarding process, because there was so many steps in between, we could break it up into each day. And then with it already being online, it was so easy for me to give the login, sign in on the computer, and I say, okay, block the schedule. Today you're going to be practicing 50 jump rings. Watch the video that Sarah's going to show you exactly what to do and mimic it.
Mm-hmm.
So it broke it down enough that I could explain it, she could watch it, and then do it.
Yeah, I love that.
So I didn't have to babysit.
So not only was it useful for you to start your business, but you've continued to use it as a tool.
Yes, it's amazing.
I love that because I put so much time into it. So I'm glad that you used it like that.
Yeah. And when we also are doing all of our marketing before, when we got like those 106 pictures, we've used those for advertising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's really nice. Another thing, like always adding value to my associate program, like what's in it for you to come work for me, is the training. It's a big value. So minus or adding to what I'm offering with hair, lashes, and everything, plus the permanent jewelry, that creates the entire associate program being a $10,000 value. So what's in it for you to join my company? You get a $10,000 return for education.
Yeah. And it's just building their skill set. So I agree with you. I love it. All right. I think this might be my last question. And I'll have you add something. If you want to add anything to the end of this call, you can. My last question for you, because this is one that I get often. I know how I feel about it, but I want to know how you feel about it. Is the industry's been around now for 4 or 5 years. There's way more people doing it now than there were in the beginning. Where do you see this industry go?
I think it's such an advantage for a salon and spa like I don't think it's going to go anywhere for us, because I'm just going to lock in deeper to the connections that I have. Example being when they have kids, when they get married, a death, losing an animal. It's not going to decrease in my space, because I'm going to use that to make it even farther. I'm going to push it for Christmas gifts. I'm going to make experience out of it. So I think we still have more one-on-one connection in our industry coming.
Yeah, I love it. My take is that, we've been wearing jewelry since ancient Egypt, right? Like we're not going to quit wearing jewelry anytime soon. And then circling back to the tattoos of like, those aren't going anywhere either. And it's a way to express yourself. So I agree with you. Thank you so much for being on this call. Do you have anything that you want to add? Any nuggets of advice that you want to drop before we wrap things up?
Add permanent jewelry to your salon.
It's just,
you have to.
It's insanity that the opportunity that is still open and available and ready for the taking within the industry, especially if you already have a target clientele, especially if you already have the target clientele. Better serve them. They want to give you their money. They love you. They trust you. They're loyal to you. Why would you not?
And if they want me to be so creative with their hair, skin, and nails, they want me to create that special piece for them.
Yes. I love it. You're killing it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so thankful that you've let me be a part of your journey and doing this interview with me. And I will let you get on about the rest of your day, but I appreciate you so much. And this was amazing. I hope that everyone watching gets a lot out of it.
Yes. Thank you so much.